Hello everyone and welcome to our today's lesson. So today we're going to be adjusting on what we previously did. That was we looked into our SQL clauses. That's the group by, the having clause, and the order by. And just to make a difference, identify the difference between the three. A reminder, because we covered this earlier on, we see the group by is used when you are running aggregates. And aggregate, we said things such as the average, the summation, the minimum, maximum, and so on. Yeah, so all these are aggregate, and if this aggregate function are going to be run across groups, then you need the group by clause, otherwise you'll end up with an error. Then we have the having clause. The having clause is for filtering. Previously we have used the where clause. The where clause and the having clause are used for the same purpose, but the difference is where clause is not used on aggregated extraction, but having clauses is used after aggregated clauses. So what happens is that we are filtering using the having clause after the group by, because the having comes after the group by clause, so that it applies the filter across the groups in our extraction. Then once you've been able to use the filter, you can filter according to names. Let's say if you want to filter just the 100 people, the first 100 people, then you can use group by employees, and then having the employees number less than 100, so then you have just the employees number who employees number was less than 100. Lastly is the order by, and the order by, we said we use it when we are extracting, and on this case when we are looking to order by in our dataset in a certain way. You can order in ascending. Once you order by, without identifying whether it's ascending or descending, it will be ordered in ascending by default. So if you need a descending order, you'll have to identify or indicate that you want order by, then the column, and then descending. You just type DESC for descending. On our today's lesson, we're going to be looking into joins, that we're able to understand the joins and thereby how to use them. We have SQL joins, and a join clause is used to combine rows, and I insisted on rows. Rows are records, and we want to join to use join clause to combine rows from two or more different from two or more tables. Yeah, in addition to that, based on a related column between them. So it means that for you to join tables, you must have a common column between the two tables. Yeah, then the first type of join, you have a number of them. The first type of join is inner join. It returns all records that have matching values in both tables. So as you can see here, we have the inner join view, where we're having first table, table 1, and table 2, and we'll only have what is matching. So if there's a column or a row, because we're matching, we are combining rows, if there's a row that exists in table 1 and is not in table 2, it won't be returned. If there's a row in table 2 that does not exist in table 1, it won't be returned, because only the matching record that will be returned. This is the syntax: select statement, then the columns you want to select from the first table, you inner join the second table, and then the last and important part is the on. We have on table 1 dot column name, table 2 dot column name. Here on, you indicate the matching columns. Yeah, you indicate the matching columns. So we can have an example using our employees dataset, and make sure your employees dataset is selected either by double clicking on it, or you can run the use, then the name of the database, that's employees, so that you're able to have it under use. So I run select we can select employees number. From the employees table you can select employment number, first name and last name, and then we can add a column from a different table, because these are our tables. We have a table called salaries, so then we can have the salaries in it. So it's have select employment number m_number, comma, first_name, comma, last_name, and lastly salary. Yeah, salary. Then from where we selecting this data, okay, so let me increase the size of my screen. I believe that's better. So we're selecting employment number, first name, last name, from one, these are the employees table, then to indicate now the second table, because we have employment number, first name and last name from employees table, then we have salary from the salaries table. So we only want the matching column, so we use inner join, now the second table is salaries. Yeah, so here is a critical part. We have employees column in the employees table. So if you click on employees, we have employment number. If you click on salary, we have employment number. So how do our SQL know that this employment number is coming from the employees table, employment number column, or from the salaries table, employment number column? That's how we call something, we abbreviate. We bring it the abbreviation, or for example you can abbreviate employees table, so that we identify or specify where this employment number is coming from, and also we do for the rest of the columns. So I'll use the abbreviation of employees number as E. Definitely you can use any letter. Just make sure after you give the name of the table, you put your abbreviation there after. So I'll use E, so I'll have E dot employment number, I'll add E dot first name and E dot last name. That these three columns are coming from the employment number. Then after the name of the table, that employees, I'll just paste and add the E there, so that SQL will know that this E in employment number, E in first name, E in last name indicates the employees table. I'll do the same for salaries. I'll use salary. So I'll use S for salary. So I have S dot salary. Then after inner join salaries, I'll add S to indicate so. So let me mention something again. As you can see, as I tend to write long lines of command in my area code here, we able only to scroll so that we have a full view of the entire line of commands. I want to show you how to adjust that. On our execute button, we have our limit area here, and to the right we have the beautifier. We have our last icon as toggle or toggle wrapping of long lines. Yeah, keep this off for large files. So it's not advice for you to use it for large files. If I click on it, we no longer have the scroll bar. What happens if I type the next information, for example inner join salary? What follows after inner join table 2 is on, and then the matching column. So I'll just type salaries on, the matching column is employment number, and we have employment number from employees table and employment number from salaries table. So I'll have E dot M underscore number is equals to S dot M underscore number. Yeah, these are the matching column, employment number, and you have to specify where each of the employment number is coming from. So you can see with tangle wrapping on, the command line reached the end and went to the next line. When toggle wrapping is not on, we just have our code commands as one line, and as I scroll to the right, I need to scroll for me to see the entire line of command, so I have to scroll. So you can put it on, which I've said it's not advisable when you're working with long lines of command. Yeah, so we can enclose our query and execute it. So it's running, it's successful. So as you can see in our results grid, we have employment number, first name and last name. These are from employees table, and then we have this salary column from the salaries table. So you can use join to extract column from different tables. Next type of join is left join. Left join returns all records or rows from the left table and the matched records from the right table. So as you can see from the view here, we have table 1. This is the left table. So we are getting everything from the left table and only the matching. You can see where the joint is, only the matching. This is the only data that will be extracted from table 2, only the matching from table 2. Yeah, we can have the command line as well. This basically the same. So we have select, we can select employment number. So we have emp underscore number, comma, first name, comma, last name, comma. We can add a third column. So we're extracting employment number, first name and last name from employees table. Then we can extract title from the titles table. We have the column title. You can see both also have a matching column, that's employment number. So we can have title from employees table. Then we have left join, titles table. Again, we have to abbreviate our tables. So we can have E for employment employees table. So you can have E dot employment number, E dot first name, E dot last name, E dot last name, and then after employees table name we add the E there. We can use T for titles. So we have T dot titles, left join titles, then you add the T thereafter. Yeah, next to it is the matching column on, and the matching column is employees number. So you can have E dot employment number, E dot employment number is equals to, that's the employment number from employees table, and you have T dot employment number from the titles table, and close. So what will happen, our left table is the employees table. The left table is the table you indicate immediately after the from, and again, or you can say it's the table on the left side of the join. Here is the join, this is the join. The left side of the join we have employees, and the right we have titles. So on the left is the left table immediately after from, and then the right is the titles table. So we're going to extract all the tables, all the rows from employees table, and only the matching from the titles table. I'll execute that. So here is our entry output. Yeah, we can close that. So you have employment number, first name, last name, and you have the titles running from senior to staff. We have staff, we have senior engineer and engineers, and so on. Yeah, the opposite, or the opposite of left join is right join. The same case applies. I copy this and we paste it here. So the difference would be the join you're using. We can add here, it's no longer left, but now we want to use the right join. And the same criteria applies. Before the join, we have employees. This is our left table, just as we indicated earlier. So titles here is the right table. So what does the right join tell us? Our right join says it returns all record from the right table and the matched record from the left table. So as you can see, we have all the records from the left table, that's table 2, and only this small piece whereby this is only the matching records from table 1. Yeah, so again, you're able to go about it. Lastly is the cross join. It returns all records from both tables. Yeah, this is same as full join, but full join doesn't work in our query, that's in my SQL, but it works in SQL Server. So the alternative to the full join is now the cross join. It returns all records from both of the tables. Here is the query, or the syntax rather. Select then the columns you want to select from table 1 and then cross join table 2. Yeah, so let's try and extract the same thing we have extracted using the left and right join, but now using the cross join. Here is the difference. So we have select employment number, so emp underscore number, comma, first name, first underscore name, comma, last name, and we have title. Yeah, from where we extracting this data? From employees table, from employees table, and then we're using cross join. Cross join titles table. Here, and that's all. If you check on the cross join syntax, we have select the columns from table, cross join table 2. So let's execute and see what happens. Add a semicolon. Let me execute that. I'm getting an error, and the error says employees column employment number in the field is ambiguous, because we have employees column in employees table and titles. So I still don't know where do you want this employment number to be extracted from. So I'll just remove it and see the entries are the same. So now I'm extracting first name, last name, and titles from employees table, cross join titles. In most cases, cross join helps when you're having or when you're extracting columns from and matching from column that do not have a matching column. Otherwise, on the other hand, the same line of command may lead to an error, and the error we get, for example, it's taking too long, is that the server ran out of memory. Yeah, it happens. So the alternative to that, we're going to use join optimization. Okay, as it runs, let me go to line 8 and select. I'll be selecting first name, last name, employment number, first name and last name from employees table. Yeah, and then I'll extract from department, the department these employees are working. One thing you'll note, we don't have a matching column between the tables. We don't have employment number in department, neither do we have department number on employees table. So those two tables are not matching. So I'll type select it's still running line 7. So let's see what happens. So select, we have emp underscore number, comma, last name, comma, sorry, I should start with first name, first name, comma, last name, and then you want department. Department name is dept underscore name. Yeah, so these are the columns we want to extract from employees table. Then we use cross join. Departments table. Yeah, then enclose that. So what will happen in our line 8 select, we are extracting employment number, but it doesn't exist in both of the tables, so we can't get the error that's ambiguous because we just have the output from one of the tables. This is taking too long. Let's select from line 7. But when it takes too long, we'll get an error of server ran out of memory. Otherwise, if it's successful, well and good. Yeah. So what I was saying is that if you get you ran out of memory when you're extracting with the cross join, the alternative to that is the use of join optimization, and we're going to be seeing this here. So I can just add a comment. Join optimization. And join optimization is where you're using more than one join to extract your output. Yeah, so this is taking lots of time, but you can just give it a little bit more of it. Taking much longer. So as you can see, 625 seconds. That's a lot of time for a query. It should take as less time as possible. So as it runs before we get the output, so let me talk about join optimization. Yeah, the select statement in line 8, at some point you may get the error. So what's the alternative to that? That's why we are talking about join optimization. So we saw we don't have any matching column between department and employees table. So what we're going to do is look for now at that table that can join both of table to act as an intermediary between the two. So one, we can't use department manager because department manager table stores data about managers alone. So then we have department employees table, which contains employment number and also department number. So we can join department employee with employees table because we have both of them has employment number. After that, we join department employee with department because they also have a matching column, that is department number. Okay, so you can see we having the error in extraction of line 7, and the error is SQL ran out of memory, so we can't get the output. Let's run line 8 so that we see whether we get the same error. Let's see what happens. So it's fetching. Let's see what happens. Okay, we got the extraction. You can see we have employment number, we have first name, last name, and department name. Yeah, so let's see what happens. We want to extract the same thing but by the use of join optimization. So we can have our select statement. So we have select employment number, first name, last name, yeah, and then we have department name. Yeah, from we extract we have employment number, first name, last name, and department name, and we are extracting this from one employees table, and now we're going to use at this point in most cases, unless you're sure that you just need our data from the right or left table, then you're going to be using join. We call it natural join. Yeah, join. So we want to join employees, but now we can't join employees with department because they do not have a matching column. So we can only join employees with department employee. So you have department employee table, and then you specify the matching columns. And remember, when we are specifying the matching column by the use of on, we need our abbreviation of both of the two. So what I'll do, I'll just use E to abbreviate employees, just as we did the previous join. So we have E dot employment number, E dot first name, then you have E dot last name, and then from employees I add now the E here. Yeah, next is department name. We'll abbreviate when we indicate the department abbreviation. We can also abbreviate department employee as DE for department employee, and the matching record column between these two is employment number. We have employment number in employees table and employment number in department employees table. So we have on E dot emp underscore number is equals to DE dot emp underscore number. So employee is our first table, department is our second table. So we are matching first table with the second table. Then the next step, we're going to use another now join, the second join, so that we join second table with third. That's the protocol. We join first table with second table with third table, and fourth table, and the process continues. So we're going to have now the second join, and we're joining department now here at this point. Department, we can now abbreviate department name column in our select statement by D for department. So you can have D dot department name, and then after department table name we add the D there, so that SQL know that D represent department table. Then on the matching column between the second table and the third table, we have three tables: employees, department employee, and departments. So we merged employment employees table with department employee. So the next join is joining department employee, that's the second table, with department table. So we're going to have on de dot department number, because both tables have department number, is equals to d dot department number, and then close. That's our query. We're supposed to get the exact same output as we had in line 8, so I'll execute that. And that's what we're having: employment number, first name, last name, and then we have departments running from department name running from one point to another. Yeah, so let me rerun line 8 so that you can check on the same. And you realize with the use of the cross join, it's taking quite some time to get the output, which is fast with join optimization. Especially it will be easier when you're using join optimization and you're extracting using long lines command. So I hope you have seen the differences between the two. Then the next thing after cross join is the union. SQL Union operator is used to combine the results set of two or more select statements. Yeah, it's used to combine the results of two or more select statement, two or more. But there are some rules. For example, you can have two select statements, but for those two select statements to be successful using the union, you have to follow these rules. One, every select statement with union must have the same number of columns. So if you select two columns, for example, select employment number and first name, those are two columns. The same thing should apply in the next select statement. The column must also have similar data type. If the first, for example, employment number is an integer, first name is a varchar, the same case apply in the second select statement. You select, then integer, and then a variable character. The column in every select statement must also be in the same order, just the same way I've identified. If you started with an integer in the first select statement followed by a variable character, then the same case applies on the second select statement. So we can do that. So let me close the results grid. So with our union here, we're going to have the first select statement is select emp underscore number from employees table. Then I want to use union, so I'll just use union, and then the second select statement, select, let's say department number, select department number from department. So these are two select statements. I've selected one column in both of the select statements. Okay, let me arrange the union in a better way. So after employees, before union, I'll just hit enter, and then before the second select pages, I'll hit enter, so that it looks like two select statements and easier to understand. In the first select statement, we just have one column selected. I've also selected one column in the second select statement. I've selected an integer in the first select statement, and I've done the same on the second select statement. Then I'll close that with semicolon and execute it. So let's see the results. All you need with the select statement is follow the rules. So as you can see, we have our employment number. I'll scroll to the lower section, and on the lower area you can see the last things are the department number. So we have up to the last employment number, and then we have department number begins at this point. So that's the union in our extraction. Yeah, so you can practice more on the select statement, whereby you extract by the use of different joins, and that's how we go about it. That's all for today's lesson. Thank you.